Usually I use this, but it wasn't plugged in. Okay, so let's hope the desktop camera is just as good. All right, happy Memorial Day, everyone. I am streaming from my new office. I'm going to try to get this video done with as less background noise and interruptions as possible. But since I am in a semi-cookout, might be some interruptions. But as the video describes, I found a couple of interesting questions on social media, mainly Twitter. If you're a writer and you love interacting with other writers, Twitter has been eating. It's amazing. So that's where you'll find me most active, on Twitter. But I found a lot of these questions on Twitter. So let's get started. Let me see. I'm using my notepad. First question is, do you prefer writing your work by hand or typing it? I prefer actually typing it. I do a lot of writing in my notepads. If you follow me, you know I love my notepads. And notebooks, I really enjoy writing that way, but I mainly only do it when I'm writing on the go, mainly at work. So it will look very bad of me if I'm on my phone writing in my notepad, just writing my notepad like this. It's going to look bad. So I have a notebook that I keep on me. So anytime an idea comes or I'm just in creative mood, during my transition period, during my downtime, I will take out the notebook and write. So you could say it says keyword prefer. So I prefer typing, but I do both. I write and I type. Second question, how often do you get writer's block and how do you combat it? This is tough. I get writer's block a lot. Currently, I'm in a reader's block forever. So I'm hoping some of my brand new books, most of all these books I have not read. So I'm hoping with some of the newer books I bought, I will get that spark again. Ever since my favorite author, Keisha's Dark, is the first book in the Keisha's Legacy series. The addiction to reading I had with this book by Jacqueline Carey, and also with the book Rest in Peace, the author L.A. Banks. Her first novel, man, didn't really enjoy the first novel very much, but I did. Once I pushed through, I was addicted. I have both of the authors. I have their books. But so I don't combat it very well. Writer's block. I try to force myself to write, which doesn't really work. I do read fan fiction. That, for some reason, I don't have a reader's block with. I will read fan fiction, and sometimes that might get me in the mood. But with my most recent series, I'm trying to finish the sequel, the next book. My Diane Gates series is a murder mystery. It's a crime fiction series. So I watch the ID channel, and that has helped me get out of writer's block a lot. But sometimes not in a good way, because sometimes they'll give me the idea for a new story, and I'm like, damn it, trying to finish this one story, but then I keep getting new ideas. Then I write them down, and so I don't know. I watch TV, I guess, and that might be bad as an author to say you're watching TV, but if you watch something in the genre that you're writing in, it can help. It helps for me. So even if I'm writing new ideas, I'm still writing. So it counts. It counts to me. So I definitely do movies, TV shows. If it's within the genre that I'm currently writing, I will watch that to help me get out of my funk. And it helps. It really does help me. So that's how I combat it. I know some people might read a book in the genre they're writing. I try not to do that. Maybe that's another reason why I haven't been reading a lot, because I'm trying to keep one voice in my head. I want to keep the book I'm writing, the main character and side characters in my head. I only want their voice in my mind while I'm writing. But I'm not against reading while you're writing. Just maybe read while you're off day, right? If you say, "Oh, I'm going to write this day and this day," read. Don't read on those days. Maybe, I don't know. How many princesses / princes have you written? None in my current books. But well, actually, no, none in my current books. I paused because I said, well, the Virtuous Academy series has the witch covens in their royalty, in a sense. They're ancient covens, and the two main characters are pretty much like heirs. More specifically, Alexandra. She's more of an heiress, I guess. But not, I guess not princess. So, but I have not written any. I do have some planned though. Very weird, I know. I have one novel. It's supposed to be a epic fantasy, historical. It's fantasy, so I don't know if I should say historical, but it's a fantasy book that has a princess who is a runaway. She ran away from her duties, and due to pretty much a devastating heartbreak, she decided to just throw it all away. She didn't want to be a part of the kingdom no more. She ran away. So her parents, think she's dead, the king and queen. And then there's a lot of stuff happens where she is almost forced to reveal her identity and save her kingdom. But it's not that simple. If you read some of my books, I enjoy making things as torturous and complicated as possible for my characters. But fun for the reader, because you never know where I'm going. You think you know, you might guess it correctly, but then the book's not done. So then you end up getting more stuff that you didn't think about. So technically I have not written one yet, but I have them in the works. So it's a work in progress. Let's see. Do you mention music, books, and movies in your stories? Not real life books, movies, etc. Music, any issues with any business, artists, or anything like that, where they're ready to sue me. I don't want to get into that. So I have made up music, made up lyrics. So I made up a poem. I made up a book name. Might be lying. Am I trying? Actually, I might be lying. The book I'm trying to finish now, Gates on the Run. I think I mentioned To Kill a Mockingbird in that book. Just the title. I'm trying to remember if I mentioned it or if I mentioned just the author's name. Can't remember. Where are you in the progress of your work in progress? Okay. Very close to being finished. I am at the point where Trying to make sure in my literary terms, the climax of the rising action. I'm definitely halfway. I'm a touch more than halfway in Gates on the Run. So that's why I'm really trying to focus on that book and get it done, because it's so close to the end. I just have to wrap it up. And then the third book in my Versus Academy series, I am only a couple of chapters in. I haven't gotten that far, but I am hoping I'll be done by the end of summer with that book. So look forward to videos on Gates on the Run and the third novel of Versus Academy, Sacrifices Await. All my titles pretty much have lots of hints to what's in store. So that's where I'm at with my two main books. Interruptions, like I said. Hello. Yeah, I already did that. Okay. All right. All righty. Yeah. No, not yet. I will. All right. I don't know. I gotta finish. I gotta cook and eat. I don't know. I don't know. All right. Bye. I knew it was gonna be some type of interruption. I wish this thing had the ability for me to pause. All right. So let's see. Next question. Where's your story located? All right. So my story for Gates on the Run is New York City, modern day New York City. So that involves Manhattan. It goes a little country as and mountains, all over the city. Brooklyn. It goes all over the city. You guys hopefully will get a better feel of the environment and the setting in this second novel. The Versus Academy series is set in Rhode Island. So United States, everything's modern. I haven't written anything more like historical fantasy or very out there. I've been sticking within places that are easy to Google and get information. What is your ideal writing space? My bed. I know I set up this whole thing and still my bed is excellent. But I like having a desk. I like getting comfortable. I have my new recliner. I just like being comfortable. So when I'm typing, my bed or right here on my desktop, if I'm writing by hand, definitely probably more so recline, just lay back, lean back. But definitely have to be pretty much quiet. A lot of times I have the TV on, but it has to be on a channel where I don't really have to pay attention. What special talent does your protagonist have? Well, strange thing is the way that whole Versus Academy series, they're supernatural creatures. I guess that's special talent. The Academy series, they're supernatural creatures. I guess that's special talent. They have magic. Natalie loves to cook. She's very good at it. So that's another talent. Diane Gates, I don't know, she's very great in her career, so that can be something. Let me see. Try to keep this to a part 1 and part 2. All right, let me see. One more question. I'll do 2 more. If you could collaborate with an author, living or deceased, for a story, who would it be? I don't know if I would. It depends on the genre. And I would really have to do it in the sense of, are we compatible? I wouldn't collaborate on a book just because the author's famous. We really have to flow well. It has to be a good working relationship. No matter your name, if the book isn't written well, it just doesn't matter. So maybe on one of my crime books, I will definitely James Patterson. And then my favorite author, Jack and Carey, I would love to do something with. But it really would, again, it has to depend on the genre. What's my strong point? What's my strong genres? What's theirs? Like, I wouldn't work with Nora Roberts, even though I love her books. I have a lot of her books on that shelf over there. Love her work, love reading her books, but I don't think we would be compatible. So it depends. But those 2 authors. All right, last question. Do you avoid overused tropes? No. I don't. You know why? Because I love them. I'm a reader and an author, and I love some of the overused tropes. I love enemies to lovers, and I have that in my book. Enemies to lovers, friends to lovers, the chosen one trope. I read Harry Potter over and over and over again. Favorite TV show, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So a lot of the overused tropes work. They're overused for a reason. They're overused for a reason. So, yeah, I use overused tropes and I enjoy them, just like I know many other readers enjoy them, because they wouldn't be overused if they didn't work. So, I use them. So I'm going to do a part 2, because I have a whole, let me show y'all that. Look, I'm scrolling. So a lot of questions. So I'm going to check on the food, because I am a fatty. I love my food. I'll be back later on to answer some more questions.